Hello again, and welcome to another edition of Crop Life Retail Week. In fact, it's not just another edition, it's the post-Thanksgiving edition.
Yes.
Sure, all of you have enjoyed a great meal. Oh yeah, I'm stuffed to the gills.
Stuffed to the gills. The turkey was fantastic. The stuffing was good. Missed out on the family because 2020. But as long as there was food, as you and I have often said, as long as there's food on Thanksgiving, then and football, then we can be happy. So.
Yep, turkey leg, a sweatshirt, and a football game is all they really need for 3 more days. That's it. I'm good. Leave me alone. So what's happened this week? So, I don't know if I've railed about this in the past, but I just noticed that the average cost of the Thanksgiving turkey dinner is down 4%.
Whoa.
What? I'm sorry.
I said, whoa. I didn't realize that.
Whoa. Well, and I say whoa because I'm like, it's amazing that the cost continues to go down, and it's impressive, and it shows amazing skill in terms of getting the meal to the table from the farm gate. But the challenges of putting that food on the table don't get any easier, and we've seen some tough years for farmers at really all levels, and it just amazes me that we don't see that going up a little bit. It's like you don't pay less for the iPhone 12 or anything else. I mean, it's amazing that these continue to be commoditized to the point where they're still going down in cost. And while it's impressive that we have a highly efficient food system, I'd love to see a little bit more value get pushed down to the farm gate to the point where we're paying a little bit more because that's value. But maybe it's just me. Probably is just me. I don't know.
Maybe it is, Paul, but along those lines, one of the items I did have to talk about, thank you very much for the segue, was farmer income. I actually read a report this morning that said net farmer income for 2020 looks like it's going to be $102.7 billion, which is the highest amount that farmer income has been at since 2013. So that's the good news. But then, of course, there's the bad news to kind of balance it out. They're estimating that 40 cents out of every one of those dollars is going to be coming from federal payments being made to the grower community. So, again, made more money than in the previous 7 years, but a lot of government aid coming in to help out on that front. So, again, you take the good with the bad, I guess.
I suppose it's just it's great that we're able to help farmers stay afloat, but it's just not a good look for the industry to have that much support coming from the government. We just have to figure out how we can balance this out with providing safety nets, but not to the point where we're keeping the industry afloat to the level that we are. I mean, you don't want farms to fail, but everything should be weighed on how the professionalism, the ability to stay sustainable, to make money, to be viable. And it's just not the way it is right
now. No, unfortunately. But again, we'll have to see what happens in 2021. And I don't know if you noticed, but of course, we've been talking about Thanksgiving. One other thing that also arrived, hopefully in everyone's mailboxes, was the November-December edition of CropLife IRON magazine, our sister publication to CropLife that focuses on the equipment side of things. And as a part of CropLife IRON here in 2020, we didn't have a product of the year competition. We had a product of the decade competition instead, looking back at previous winners from product of the year going back to 2010. And we actually did have a winner based on what our voters said over a 1 month time frame, about 400 votes cast, Paul. And the winner was Case IH's Trident spreader combo unit. And here is an interview I conducted with Mark Burns, congratulating Case IH on winning product of the decade and what he had to say regarding that win. I'm here with Mark Burns from Case IH to talk about our product of the decade competition. Mark, as you may know, this year there was not too many in-person events held, so our CropLife IRON magazine usually holds a product of the year competition, highlighting the products that we've seen at in-person events that we thought were the most special. And we give our readers a chance to vote on what their favorite product was. But since, like I said, we didn't have in-person events this year, we decided to do a retrospective of the products of the year going back the past 10 years and turned it into a product of the decade competition instead. And I'm happy to report that Case IH's 5550 Trident was named the product of the decade for the 2010. So Mark, congratulations.
Well, thank you, Eric. It's really a big honor for us to be awarded the product of the decade for the Trident. It's very exciting.
So if you could tell our viewers a little bit about some of the features that have made the Trident so memorable to the voters of the product of the decade competition.
Sure. The Trident is probably most well known as the combination applicator that was designed from the ground up to be such a vehicle, really focusing on machine design that makes the application switch from liquid to dry or vice versa quick and very quick and simple process, and we did an awful lot of advertising primarily towards the commercial applicator group about the ability to change this chassis from liquid to dry configuration in as few as 42 minutes. That really stuck with the marketplace and has really driven an awful lot of excitement about this product.
Well, obviously, you've kept the product top of mind for our viewers and readers of CropLife Iron over the past 3 years since it was first introduced back in 2017. Tell me about some of the upgrades you've made since that time over the intervening years to keep the product in the spotlight.
Sure. A couple of different things, trying to drive productivity and efficiency and accuracy really is the paramount of our application equipment portfolio. And the things that we've done to the Trident over the last 3 years since introduction have really focused around those. One, at launch, this machine in a liquid state had the capability of a 1,400-gallon capacity product tank with an integral 200-gallon rinse tank. Knowing that the more acres we can cover per load, there was a desire to ramp that tank size up just a touch. So we took that now, in addition to the 1,400-gallon option, also having a true 1,600-gallon capacity product tank. And by doing so, that allowed us to move the rinse water externally and mount some tanks outside of that. From a precision perspective, changing our automatic boom height control to the Auto Boom XRT, which is significantly better than prior versions of height control. So we're able to provide, a much more stable boom platform, even in those challenging conditions.
Well, we're here as we're recording this towards the end of November in 2020, a very memorable year for a lot of the wrong reasons. But looking forward to 2021's growing season, what plans does Case IH have for the Trident moving into next year?
Well, the Trident is going to be, continuing along in a kind of a similar state to the way it currently is. As a brand and as a product line, Case IH is focusing on some big changes that will actually affect our Patriot sprayer product line first. And so a good chunk of our resources are going into that next gen product, and the Trident as well as the Titan floater will follow suit in coming years.
All right, very good. Well, on behalf of myself, everyone at CropLife Iron, and our readers and viewers, I want to again congratulate Case IH on winning Product of the Decade for the Trident, and we'll look forward to more new products from you coming up here in 2021, hopefully at some in-person events that may take place towards the later part of the year. So Mark, again, good to see you again. Hope you stay healthy, and best to you and your family during these holiday season.
Well, thank you, and same to you, Eric.
So that was Mark Burns talking about getting Product of the Decade for Case IH's Trident unit. Again, congratulations to them and to all our readers and viewers for casting their votes on behalf of CropLife Iron for Product of the Decade.
It's great that we've done it this long. It's hard to believe that we've had this thing in commerce for that long and so much support and votes over the years. it's been a fun project for you.
Well, and actually it goes back even further than that, Paul. I limited it to the 2010s, but actually Product of the Year was started in 2008, I believe. So it goes back even further than that. So yeah, we've been doing this for a long time, and it's actually nice that a lot of the companies in the industry seem to consider it an honor to win. And I'm also very thankful to our readers for continuing to cast the votes that we need that let us know what they think is the best product out in the market. So,
absolutely. So, one other thing for me to mention, we have when you come back, when you're back full next week, and you're thinking, looking around, looking for something to do, because I know, you'll just be looking for something to do. But seriously, we have an event, a virtual event on the PACE Executive Series focused on the future of the farmer, led by ag economist and consultant David Widmar. He's got a great presentation and panel discussion lined up. It's going to be a couple of hours. We're limiting it to 2 hours to try and fit into a reasonable time space where you can kind of dedicate some time to really looking at what's being said, answer questions live. I mean, if you can't make it, we will have a recording, but it's always best to be there so you can ask questions and kind of engage our panel and our moderator. But we're really going to take a look at where farming stands today in farms, and try to project out over the next 10 to 15 years where things are headed at the farm gate financially. So, say we've been talking to David for about 3 months about this. He's really got some great statistics, some great information put together, and panelists, I'm sure, will lend a lot to it as well. So look forward to seeing you virtually out there. Feel free to register. It's up on the screen. It's been up on the screen, and we'll see you on December 3rd.
very good. Well, looking forward a little bit further, Paul, one of the things that came out in the last week was the projected acreage for some of the main row crops going into the 2021 season. And actually, Paul, the numbers are actually remarkably similar. Corn acreage looks like it's going to be, according to USDA, about 90 million acres in 2021. Should be down 1 million acres from the 91 million they planted in 2020. And soybeans, though, looks like because of all the demand we've had recently from China, which I know we've been talking about on the videos, looks like there's going to be 89 million acres of soybean planted in 2021, which will be up 6 million acres from 2020. So again, corn and soybean pretty dead even, about 1 million acre difference between the two major crops out there. So, and again, the report said, I didn't write down the numbers, that wheat and cotton and rice will actually have their acreage drop a little bit as more people focus on corn and soybeans. So,
yeah. Well, they're always a favored crop if everybody's got their druthers, and it's been good reason to plant both of them, probably going into next year as well. So,
yep. So that's all I got this week. That was quite a bit. So,
wish we had something a little more entertaining for this, holiday, festive holiday season. I'm going to try to put some holiday festive decor on my shelf back here just to liven things up a little bit. I'm sure I've got some schlocky Christmas stuff laying around in the basement I can bring up and put up and be made fun of for, things like that.
Well, I was going to say, I know now that we're past Thanksgiving, that's usually the time when I dig out all the Christmas stuff and start decorating as well. So who knows, maybe behind me will be a little marching band of bell playing drummers, or, maybe a little wish catcher, or perhaps even just the countdown calendar, counting down the days till Christmas arrives. So
I can speak for my entire audience in that we can't wait.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's enough for this edition of CropLife Retail Week. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
If you have questions or comments about today's episode of Retail Week, contact us by email or Twitter, or type your message in the comment section below.
Your feedback is important to us. We'll try our best to address your thoughts in next week's episode.
And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.